Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. These profound words from Rumi resonate deeply within us, reminding us that the path to true love begins with self-discovery and self-acceptance. In our quest for love, many of us have fallen into the trap of believing that another person holds the key to our happiness and completeness. We go on countless dates, hoping to find someone who will fill the void within us, someone who will complete us. We cast our nets wider and wider, searching for that perfect match, only to be disappointed when things don't work out as planned. But deep down, we know that true love cannot be found in another person. We understand that the fairy tale notion of meeting our Prince/SS Charming is just that, a fairy tale. We are aware that no one else can make us whole, for true fulfillment comes from within. It is when we embark on the journey of self-discovery that we truly begin to understand the barriers we have built against love. These barriers may take the form of self-doubt, fear of vulnerability, or past traumas that have left us guarded. They may be rooted in our upbringing, societal expectations, or the wounds of past relationships. Whatever their origin, these barriers prevent us from fully experiencing and giving love. Striving for self-love is not simply about reciting positive affirmations or engaging in self-care rituals. It is about delving deep into our psyche, confronting our fears and insecurities, and dismantling the walls we have erected. It is a process of introspection and self-reflection, where we confront the parts of ourselves that we have neglected or rejected. As we peel back the layers and uncover the barriers within ourselves, we may find that they are not easily overcome. It takes courage and perseverance to face our inner demons and break free from the patterns that hold us back. But with each barrier we dismantle, we create more space for love to flow into our lives. Discovering the barriers to love is a transformative journey. It is an opportunity for growth and self-discovery, where we learn to embrace our imperfections and love ourselves unconditionally. It is through this process that we become the best version of ourselves, ready to give and receive love authentically. Barriers to love. Barriers to love are like invisible walls that we construct within ourselves, preventing us from fully experiencing the beauty and joy of love. Rumi, the wise poet, once said that our task is not to search for love outside, but rather to identify and dismantle the barriers we have built against it within our own hearts. This profound insight reminds us that the journey towards love begins with self-discovery and self-acceptance. Self-love, the foundation of all love, can be a complex and challenging endeavor. While we may understand the concept of loving ourselves on an intellectual level, it can be difficult to truly embody it in our daily lives. We may engage in self-care practices such as eating healthier, exercising regularly, and pursuing our passions, but there is often a deeper hurdle to overcome. So what are these barriers that Rumi speaks of? They are the internal narratives and beliefs that we have absorbed throughout our lives. They are the voices that whisper in our minds, telling us that we are unworthy of love and happiness. They are the remnants of past traumas, disappointments, and rejections that have left scars on our hearts. They are the societal expectations and comparisons that make us feel inadequate and flawed. These barriers are deeply ingrained within us, shaping our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. One of the most common barriers to love is the belief that we are not deserving of it. We may have internalized messages from our upbringing or past relationships that have convinced us of our unworthiness. This belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, as we unconsciously push love away, fearing that it will confirm our deepest insecurities. Another barrier is the notion that there is something inherently wrong with us. We may constantly criticize ourselves, focusing on our flaws and imperfections. This self-judgment becomes a barrier to love because we believe that we must fix ourselves before we can be deserving of love. Yet, love is not conditional upon perfection. It is a gift that we can embrace and share, flaws and all. Fear is yet another barrier that holds us back from love. We fear vulnerability, rejection, and heartbreak. We build walls around our hearts, shielding ourselves from potential pain. However, these walls also prevent us from experiencing the deep connections and intimacy that love offers. It is only by bravely facing our fears and allowing ourselves to be vulnerable that we can truly open ourselves up to love's transformative power. Overcoming these barriers requires courage, self-reflection, and a commitment to self-growth. It involves challenging the negative beliefs we hold about ourselves and replacing them with self-compassion and self-acceptance. It involves healing the wounds of the past and letting go of the fear that holds us captive. As we embark on this journey of dismantling our barriers to love, we discover that love is not something external to be sought after, but rather an inherent part of our being. We realize that we are deserving of love simply because we exist. We learn to embrace our imperfections and celebrate our uniqueness. We cultivate a deep sense of self-love and self-worth, which radiates outwards and attracts love into our lives. As human beings, we often carry within us a deep-seated belief that we are somehow flawed or broken. This belief whispers in our ears, telling us that if anyone were to discover the truth about us, they would surely leave us. It's like a constant background noise, a low hum that unconsciously influences everything we do, every action we take, and every decision we make. These barriers to love, these self-imposed limitations, are like hidden walls that we build around ourselves. They form a part of our internal operating system, running silently in the background, shaping our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Unlike the self-loving practices we consciously choose, such as attending yoga sessions, eating healthy salads, or connecting with friends, these barriers remain in the shadows, often unnoticed and unexamined. But here's the thing, we don't need to go out and love ourselves because deep down we already do. We just need to tear down those barriers that are blocking our self-love from shining through. It's like removing the layers of dust that have accumulated on a beautiful painting, revealing its true colors and brilliance. So how do we dismantle these barriers? It starts with awareness. We must first recognize and acknowledge their presence. This requires a willingness to explore the depths of our own psyche, to confront the fears and insecurities that have been holding us back. It may be uncomfortable at times, but the reward is liberation and a newfound sense of self-acceptance. Next, we must challenge the validity of these barriers. Are they really true, or are they just stories we've been telling ourselves? Often, we'll find that these beliefs are rooted in past experiences, traumas, or societal conditioning. By questioning their legitimacy, we can begin to loosen their grip on our lives. Once we've gained awareness and challenged the validity of these barriers, we can start replacing them with new, empowering beliefs. We can choose to embrace the truth that we are worthy of love and connection, just as we are. We can affirm our own value and celebrate our unique qualities and strengths. It's important to remember that this process takes time and patience. It's not about instant transformation, but rather a gradual unraveling of the layers that have been holding us back. It's a journey of self-discovery and self-compassion, filled with moments of both triumph and setbacks. But as we continue on this path, we'll begin to experience the profound impact of dismantling these barriers. We'll find ourselves opening up to love and connection in ways we never thought possible. We'll discover a newfound sense of freedom and authenticity, as we let go of the need to hide or pretend. So let us embark on this journey together, tearing down the barriers that have been blocking our self-love. Let us embrace our own worthiness and celebrate the beautiful beings that we are. And as we do, we'll inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of love and acceptance that spreads far beyond ourselves. We are not born with these barriers. Not one of us came into this world with pre-erected barriers to love, it's learned behavior. This profound truth reminds us that love is not an innate emotion, but rather a concept that we acquire through our experiences and interactions with others. As children, we are like sponges, absorbing everything that happens around us and learning from the adults who guide us. It is during this crucial period that we form our understanding of love. For some, love may have been portrayed as something scary and shouty. Perhaps they witnessed their parents engaging in heated arguments or experienced volatile relationships themselves. In their young minds, they learned that love was synonymous with conflict and drama. This early exposure to turbulent love can shape their perception of relationships as adults, causing them to seek out partners who exhibit similar behaviors. On the other hand, some may have grown up in an environment where love was silent, sulky, and devoid of affection. They may have observed their parents maintaining a cold and distant relationship, devoid of any emotional connection. In this case, they learned that love was expressed through withdrawal and emotional unavailability. As adults, they may find themselves drawn to partners who replicate this pattern, as it feels familiar and safe, despite its inherent lack of warmth. It is important to recognize that our childhood experiences not only shape our understanding of love, but also leave us vulnerable to certain patterns and behaviors. Even seemingly subtle factors, such as having overly critical or emotionally unavailable parents, can have a significant impact on our ability to form healthy relationships as adults. The repetition of patterns, though not always pleasant, is often a result of our unconscious desire for familiarity and comfort. We gravitate towards what we know, even if it means perpetuating negative dynamics. Breaking free from these patterns requires self-awareness and a willingness to challenge the beliefs and behaviors that were ingrained in us during our formative years. Understanding the influence of our childhood experiences on our adult relationships is a crucial step towards personal growth and fulfillment. By recognizing the learned behaviors and barriers to love that we have acquired, we can actively work towards breaking free from destructive patterns. It is through this process of self-reflection and self-improvement that we can create healthier and more fulfilling relationships, based on love that is nurturing, supportive, and authentic. Through the innocent eyes of a child, the world can appear as a treacherous place, filled with potential dangers and threats. It is only natural that, in order to protect ourselves from harm, we develop strategies and behaviors that shield us from emotional and physical pain. As we grow older, however, we must question the effectiveness of these protective mechanisms and evaluate whether they still serve us in our adult lives. For me personally, I have often struggled to form deep and meaningful connections with others, particularly in romantic relationships. The experiences I had as a child left a lasting imprint on my heart, teaching me that love was not easy to come by and that it was fleeting. Consequently, I built walls around my heart, never allowing anyone to come too close for fear of experiencing the same heartbreak again. But as I reflect on this protective pattern, I realize that it no longer serves me in my adult life. While it may have provided a sense of safety and security in the past, it now hinders my ability to form genuine connections and experience the fullness of love. By keeping others at arm's length, I am denying myself the opportunity to truly connect and share my life with someone. Recognizing this, I am now committed to breaking down those walls and allowing myself to be vulnerable. I understand that vulnerability is not a weakness, but rather a strength that allows for deep emotional intimacy and connection. It is through vulnerability that we can truly experience the joys and sorrows of life, and it is through vulnerability that we can grow and learn. It takes courage to let go of the protective patterns we have developed over the years. It requires us to confront our fears and insecurities head-on, and to trust that we are capable of handling whatever comes our way. But in doing so, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities and experiences that we may have never imagined. So if you find yourself still clinging to the protective behaviors of your childhood, I encourage you to take a moment and reflect on how they are serving you in your adult life. Are they helping you to grow and thrive, or are they holding you back from experiencing the true beauty and richness of life? Remember, it is never too late to let go and embrace vulnerability. Only then can we truly live a life filled with love, connection, and fulfillment. All the self-loving actions in the world couldn't compete with my unconscious internal message that love was unsafe and ultimately destined to end. It may seem like a rather bleak realization, but in fact, I have discovered that it is incredibly empowering. Understanding this about myself has allowed me to make a conscious decision when I sense myself withdrawing. Instead of succumbing to the fear of getting hurt, I can choose to push past it and draw closer to my partner. This pattern of withdrawing and self-protection was developed many years ago as a defense mechanism. It served to shield me from potential pain and heartbreak. However, I now recognize that it does not define who I am. Armed with this knowledge, I am able to challenge this pattern and break free from its grip. By acknowledging and accepting this unconscious fear, I have taken a significant step towards personal growth and self-improvement. It has opened up a world of possibilities for me in my current relationship. Instead of allowing fear to dictate my actions, I am now able to approach love with a newfound sense of courage and vulnerability. Love, in its truest form, requires us to be open and willing to take risks. It demands that we let go of our past hurts and embrace the potential for joy and connection. By confronting my fear head-on, I have been able to cultivate a deeper connection with my partner. I am able to communicate my needs and desires more effectively, and I am more willing to let myself be seen and known. This journey of self-discovery and growth has not been without its challenges. There are moments when the old patterns and fears resurface, tempting me to retreat into the safety of solitude. But now, armed with the knowledge that love is not inherently unsafe, I am able to face these moments with strength and resilience. I have come to realize that love is not a guarantee of pain, but rather an opportunity for growth and transformation. It is through love that we are able to truly understand ourselves and others. It is through love that we are able to experience the fullness of life. So while the realization of my unconscious fear may have initially seemed depressing, it has ultimately become a catalyst for personal empowerment and growth. I am no longer held captive by the belief that love is unsafe. Instead, I embrace love as a force that has the power to heal and transform. In conclusion, understanding and acknowledging our unconscious beliefs and patterns is a crucial step towards personal growth and fulfillment. By recognizing the ways in which we may be sabotaging our own happiness, we can make a conscious choice to break free from these limitations. Love, when approached with courage and vulnerability, has the power to bring us closer to ourselves and to others. It is through love that we can truly thrive and experience the richness of life. Discovering your personal barriers to love. Discovering your personal barriers to love is a journey that requires self-reflection and a deep understanding of oneself. It is a process that takes time and patience, as you peel back the layers of the onion to uncover the hidden obstacles that have been holding you back from experiencing the love you truly deserve. Each person's barriers to love are unique and deeply rooted in their own experiences and beliefs. It is essential to recognize that these barriers were created with the intention of protecting yourself and ensuring your safety. They were formed as a response to past hurts and disappointments, and they served a purpose at that time. However, as you embark on the path of self-discovery, it is crucial to dissolve these barriers with love and compassion. Acknowledge the little one inside you who created these barriers, and thank them for doing the best they could in challenging times. Understand that these barriers were formed as a means of self-preservation, and they no longer serve you in your pursuit of love and happiness. As you embark on the journey of self-discovery and personal growth, you may find yourself confronted with various barriers that hinder your ability to fully embrace love and vulnerability. These barriers, which may manifest as fear of vulnerability, fear of rejection, or a lack of self-worth, can be deeply rooted in past experiences of heartbreak, betrayal, or abandonment. However, it is crucial to remember that these experiences do not define your worth or your capacity to experience love. Take a moment to delve into the layers of these barriers and explore their origins. Reflect on the beliefs and thought patterns that have contributed to their formation. By understanding the root causes of these barriers, you can begin to challenge and dismantle them. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering and positive affirmations that remind you of your innate worthiness and deservingness of love. It is important to recognize that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength. Embracing vulnerability allows you to connect with others on a deeper level and fosters authentic and meaningful relationships. By acknowledging and accepting your vulnerabilities, you are opening yourself up to the possibility of experiencing love in its truest form. Throughout this process, it is crucial to cultivate self-love and self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding as you navigate through the layers of your barriers. Celebrate your strengths and acknowledge your growth along the way. Remember that self-love is the foundation upon which all other forms of love are built. Surround yourself with a supportive network of friends and loved ones who can provide guidance and encouragement. Seek out individuals who have overcome similar barriers and can serve as role models on your journey. Share your experiences and fears with them, and allow their wisdom and support to inspire and motivate you. As you continue to peel back the layers of your barriers, remember that this is a process of growth and transformation. Be patient with yourself and celebrate each small victory along the way. Embrace the discomfort that comes with vulnerability, knowing that it is a necessary step towards experiencing deep and meaningful connections. Remember, discovering your personal barriers to love is a courageous and transformative journey. It requires you to confront your fears and insecurities head-on, but the rewards are immeasurable. By breaking down these barriers, you open yourself up to the possibility of deep and meaningful connections, and you pave the way for a love that is authentic and fulfilling. So embrace this journey of self-discovery, for it is through understanding and dissolving your personal barriers to love that you will unlock the door to a love that is pure, unconditional, and truly extraordinary.